from the ICC here, the Team of the Decade hat. Congratulations. I suppose thoughts and feelings.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's an honour and a privilege to receive this. And amongst some incredible names on that list that certainly feels surreal to be on there. However, I sort of believe that it's a bit of a team award, to be honest, and it wouldn't mean much without the contributions and the efforts from all the other players that you play alongside over such a long period of time that give you the motivation and drive to want to just try and move the team forward that you're involved in, and also there's been so many people along the way that have gone into trying to help me as a player and as a person, and I want to thank all of them, but still a lot of cricket to go, and but thank you very much for the award.
Cool. I suppose you've spoken about how special the Test game is to you, and how significant it is. So I suppose to be in that Test one, does that make it a little bit extra special? And you suppose your preferred or favourite format?
Test cricket, I think it's certainly here amongst our team, it's very close to all the players' hearts, and there's obviously the tradition around the Test game that growing up has always been seen as the pinnacle, and so to be able to play Test cricket is a real privilege, and to do it for a period of time is even more special. So yes, it's a very special thing.
Talking of special, we're only sort of 12 or 15 hours on from yesterday. Can you how do you, I suppose, look back at yesterday's Test and a pretty epic finish on your home ground?
Yeah, his second game at the Bay Oval, and another brilliant match to witness, I'm sure, and a great game to be involved in. And we seem to have so many close, tight finishes against Pakistan. I think our last three have gone into the last sort of 25 minutes of the last day. So, really exciting game, and for us, it was a huge amount of hard work that went into it. Both teams fought incredibly hard, and you need a few things to go your way as well, and I think we had that in moments, although the resistance put up on the last day by Pakistan was incredibly strong, and it did look for all money to be a draw, or potentially them having an opportunity to win it. So it's really exciting to get across the line and still be in the hunt for an opportunity at the Test Championship.
And you guys move into number one in the rankings, but it's not, I suppose, confirmed until after the series. But
an amazing achievement and sort of recognition for some consistent performances over a long period of time. But as a group, we know that each game's important, and each game it's essential to start again and know that you have to put in the hard yards to try and give yourself the opportunity to win a Test match. So winning a Test match is so special, but to perhaps win a few more and then have these other things in the background like rankings that acknowledge that and perhaps tell you where you are at a point in time does sort of allow you to sit back and reflect. And so I think that the team are pretty proud of that, very proud of that, but at the same time, no, there's still a lot more hard work to do, and we'll be focusing on our next match.
Awesome. And in terms of reflecting, you've also gone up to number one in the Test batting rankings. I know individual sort of success isn't something that you really clamber over, but I suppose it's an acknowledgement of your consistency, and I suppose particularly coming off quite a long break, you must be pleased with how you've been going.
Once again, it's very much trying to do as much as you can for the team, and so I do see some of those individual rankings, whether it's the bowlers and batters, is putting in an effort in a direction that's driven by so many of the other players, or the 11 of where you want to go, and if you can be contributing as much as you can, and then it's reflected in a ranking, then that's really cool. But the focus is trying to do as much as you can for your side, and so I'm privileged to play in a team that is driven to move each other forward and give to one another, and and that's where our focus is. And so we're in a really exciting time where we're coming into the last test of our summer, that with everything to play for, and I know that the team's really excited at that.
I mean, since the home summer with the test, you've obviously had a couple of really big knocks. Looking ahead before that, obviously it was a long layoff. Then you went over to the IPL white ball, so the preparation was, I suppose, different to what you're used to. Is there anything you can sort of put your finger on as to how you've managed to, I suppose, perform at that level?
Yeah, look, I mean, everybody had a long period of time off and a forced break, for want of a better term. And then, it was really exciting to have the opportunity to go and play IPL, the first cricket on the schedule for, a few of our players and a number of players around the world. So, it was really nice just to be back out playing cricket. We're used to the schedule being jam-packed and trying to manage it, but when you have so much time away, it's just nice being back out there on the cricket field. And there was a real freshness, I think, from all the players in the IPL, and a real enjoyment and appreciation of that opportunity. And then coming back, it was looking to change that focus. And we had some T20s against the West Indies that a couple of us missed, and tried to shift our attention to the red ball and get home for a few days after a long time away. And it was nice to be able to do that. And there's never one thing. It's an ever moving piece, and you're always just trying to develop your game as much as you can, and work hard to try and improve day in, day out. And as we know, there's any international match that you play, it's always an incredibly tough challenge, and so you're just trying to learn as much as you can and improve.
And just quickly, I suppose the two knocks in these two tests, batting first on really tough pitches against bowlers who are, bowling well and have the team in trouble. I think you mentioned it's quite satisfying. That as a batsman, is that where you sort of judge yourself, or you, I suppose, take the most pleasure if you can get through those periods?
I mean, it's you're wanting to really commit to your perhaps processes or what it is you're trying to achieve for as long as you can, and on some of those wickets that are doing it, but you also know that you're going to get some good balls, and hopefully a few things go your way. And it was nice that was the case, in one or two of those games, and then just try and build partnerships with your mate at the other end, and that's where it's been most satisfying, is actually working hard together, and we've seen that a number of really valuable partnerships throughout those last few tests, like you say, on wickets that have been sporting, and just the number of contributions that have gone to try and put the team into a strong position has been great. So we'll have another challenge coming up in a few days' time, where we'll have to try and apply those processes and adapt again.
And just lastly on this, you go past Steve Smith, and I think Virat Kohli's been around there as well, a couple of contemporaries who you obviously play with, and I suppose have a lot of admiration for as well. So I suppose a thought on those two guys and the other players who do surround the top of those rankings.
I mean, those two players are the best. So for me to sneak up perhaps in some way is very surprising, but and humbling, but at the same time, I think there's other rankings somewhere that quite clearly state the successes of these other two, and in year out, those two players in all formats are moving the game forward, and we're all fortunate to be playing against these guys, sometimes with and some players perspectives where you play around the world, and they're both very different players in terms of perhaps how they set up and how they approach the game, but two very, very incredible players of our generation that, like I say, are moving the game forward, and it is great to watch and learn from them.